Come on your feet, wake up. We need a little energy in the room. I need you to stand up.
Oh, I can't stand. I'm holding the video.
You gotta get ready to attack the market, okay? That's good.
Thank you so much.
Sorry.
Well, I'm in a good mood, you guys. Drunk a lot of water, so I have to pee. That means this will go quick. This will be all right.
Yeah.
How's everybody doing, okay?
Yeah.
Fantastic. I'm excited about 2014. How do you guys feel about the market?
Yes.
Not enough houses.
A tepid response got Jim fired up. How do you guys feel about the market?
Good.
Okay. Well, the question is, are they going to be infected by you? You have to create some urgency, and my friends, I'll tell you what 2014 is. It's a race. It's a race. We're going to talk about this during my presentation, but there's a lot of different things that you have to do, and you have to do them right now. You've been hearing about this thing called a qualified mortgage. Everybody keeps talking about qualified mortgage. And then this new wall at 43%. No more free ride over 43. So the bottom line is, if rates move at all, some people get pushed off the wall on the other side. We have to act as fast as possible. So we're going to have to do some things about making sure that we are running the race today. So I'm excited because there's so many different people in the room, different affiliates. I met Curly, sweet, but it's good looking hair, brother. You know, you got it going on. So I got to tell you, I'm curious. You're here selling termite. You're here selling real estate. You're here selling business coaching. You're here selling legal advice. Everybody here is a salesperson. But I wonder if we know what that means. I wonder if we know what being a salesperson actually means. Salesperson is our job. You like my super cool graphics? Spent about 10 cents on that. What's interesting about being a salesperson is it represents a couple different things. I think people say, yeah, I'm a sales, and by the way, I do think it's time to admit we're in sales.
Absolutely.
Some of us don't want to go there. I love it when somebody says, hey, what do you do for a living? I'm in real estate. What does that mean? I sell new homes and make people's dreams come true. Oh, that's different. You're a salesperson. A salesperson, by the way, you might be familiar. This is you like that? It's cool. I paid top dollar for these graphics, ladies and gentlemen. Salesperson, the word salesperson is a compound word. Right? You remember compound words. Right? Go back, you're in the 2nd grade. Compound word is 2 words that put together mean something different, like cowboy or nighttime. Everyone with me?
Yeah.
So the word salesperson is made up of 2 things, sales and person. And they can't live without each other. So I wanted to talk about that. And the guy, how many of you were here last week? That guy was pretty awesome. And he had a DVD. So not to be outdone, I brought a DVD to kind of talk about this salesperson issue. We're going to talk about relationships and how that affects being a salesperson. Chris, whenever you're ready, if you can turn your attention to the screens. And I'm hoping it's coming. Can you feel the excitement? I sure can. Here we go. Take a peek. I'll be right back. Your customer's looking for the right product and the right salesperson to help them with it. Now, don't be fooled. They're checking out other salespeople besides you. When a customer's searching, what they're really looking for is a successful relationship. Someone they can trust. Oh, the kind of thing they might find on the Daily Day. That's right. Today we're going to help a lonely customer find a lucky salesperson who she could do business with. Let let's meet our customer, shall we? She's a law student. She hails from Encino, California, and she wants to find a product and is looking for a great salesperson who will listen and meet her needs. She wants her fears satisfied so she can just relax. Come on, let's bring her out here. Let's hear it for Sandy Beach. Hi, Sandy. How are you? All right, so what are you hoping to accomplish today?
Just looking to finish a transaction.
All right, have a seat. Get comfortable there. And let's meet our salespeople, huh? And here they are. Hey, let's meet salesperson number 1. You know what? He'll probably make you feel like an idiot when he's talking to you. That's because he'll be talking while you're talking. He's condescending, interrupting guy. He's salesperson number 1. Hey, I'm glad you're on the show. See, I had a question for you. That's not really important, is it, Bob? Okay. I guess maybe it isn't. Let's meet salesperson number 2. Salesperson number 2 comes from Big Ugly, West Virginia, and it doesn't matter what you think, he probably won't care at all. That's right, he's insincere guy. Salesperson number 2. All right, you excited to be on the show?
Oh yes, I'm thrilled to be a part of this entire process.
Salesperson number 3. Well, he's all the way from Bucksnort, Tennessee. And you know what? You want to find out what's happening? What's going on? You'll never find out from this guy. You know why? Because he won't call, won't follow up guy. Salesperson number 3. So, are you happy to be on the show?
Can I get back to you on that, Bob?
All right then. Okay. Well, what we're looking to do is find a perfect match for you today, Sandy.
It's really hard. I'm hoping you can help.
So, well, are you comfortable?
I am. You're so sweet.
All right, let's get right to it.
Salesperson number 1. I'm looking for exactly...
Now. Oh, little lady. I've been doing this for 20 years, so let me just step in and help. We don't really need to hear ideas, things that matter to you.
Salesperson number 2. Same question.
That's a lovely outfit you're wearing, by the way.
Can't even see me.
Yeah, I can tell by the sound of your voice that you have excellent taste. Whatever you think is fine. I love your ideas. Could you repeat the question?
Go ahead.
Salesperson number 3.
It's a great question. Let me do a little research on that. I'll crunch some numbers for you, and I'll get right back to you on that, okay?
I don't think any of these salespeople are going to match. I mean, I'm not going to want to make a relationship with any of these.
Well, I can understand, because they're obviously not listening to you. I mean, the key in forming a relationship is that they actually listen, am I right?
Yeah, listening.
I mean, you're the one that's deciding what you want. None of them's really asking your needs or even seeing if that's important to you. It's about what you want, right?
Yeah, what I want.
I mean, let's think about it. They're not paying attention. You're the customer.
I am the customer.
That's right.
Yeah, what I want.
Sure.
Will you be my salesperson, Bob?
Why, yes. Yes, I will. Hey, that's our show, and I sure like the ending, didn't you? Join us next week when your salesperson comes into your office and says, "Hey, how come that guy across the street's getting all the business and you're not?" Well, that's our show. What do you say? Should we give him that big kiss, huh? Thank you so much. So, did any of those sales characters remind you of people you know? And part of that job of being a salesperson is the person part. You've got to be a person. You've got to actually form some relationships. You've got to make some commitments to people. And some of the ways that that happens, I believe, is you can't be condescending, interrupting guy. And I know it's really hard, because occasionally you'll get somebody that's going to ask you a question that, ladies and gentlemen, if you've been in this business for a long time, how many times have you heard this question? You know the answer. You could say it in your sleep. But God is amazing, and he was right. 2 of these, 1 of these. Keep the ratio right. You have to be very careful. How many of you find yourself, by the way, just real quick facts. Just quick facts. You can talk at about 80 to 105, 110 words a minute, right? I tried 120 words a minute one time, pulled a tongue, I was out for a week. But you can think at like 450. You can process faster than that. So do you ever find yourself, while you're having a conversation with people, say, "Hi, how you doing? It's good to, did I leave the iron on? What do I got to pick up at, oh, I'm sorry, what was your name again? Sound familiar? You have to make a concerted effort to keep that ratio right, 2 to 1. You're aggressively listening to what people have to say and then responding. You can't plan your response. Any of you have a spiel, a way you say it, and you say it that way all the time? Ladies and gentlemen, that's a problem for you. I don't think anybody should have that thing that, oh, we always say this. It means you planned to not listen. I don't want you to be condescending, interrupting guy. I don't want you to have that role. Now, maybe you're insincere guy. Insincere guys means you need to commit to them. Somebody gave me a hard time early in my career, and I had to kind of take the hit because they were really true. It was right what they said. And what happened was, I'd sit down with somebody, and I wanted to make sure that I stayed connected all the time. I'll tell you that's a subset of problem number 3 that I had in my life that I want to share with you so you don't do it. Insincere guy is a guy that answers the phone while he's talking to people. Insincere is a guy whose eyes drift and look at the laptop because the email went cling while you're talking to people. Insincere guy is the guy that sits down for a meeting and has other agendas, other things to do, or shortens that time. You need to commit to people or you are insincere. Here's a way that people caught me because I didn't want to be won't call, won't follow up guy. Because on occasion, people make a meeting with me and they'd say, great, let's be there at 2. And the people that knew me really well figured I'd be there about 2:10. I did it a lot. Now I was busy and that was my excuse. I'm busy, right? What happens when you make an appointment for somebody at 2 and you show up at 2:05? Let me tell you what you're saying very loudly. What I had to do just before this point was way more important than you. Every time you're late, you're saying somebody else was more important than you. I'm doing something more important than this meeting. Some of you might be in a situation, you ever have this happen? You do get busy. By the way, it's really weird. You have that dead day, then you have the crazy day where it's so fast you can't hardly keep track. And somebody calls in while you're talking to somebody, you're like, hey, I'm on the phone with so-and-so, can I call you right back? And then you don't keep that commitment. Because it happens about 11:45 at night, where you do that, oh crap, I said I was going to call Bill. Right? I want to make sure that if you are a person that's committed to people, that when you say, hey, let me call you back, 10 seconds, I got to write this down on my list. I don't go to bed. I don't go home. I don't stop until I finish this list. For many of you, it's a smartphone. I force myself now to put reminder appointments. It takes a couple seconds, but I've gotten really good at saying, hang on, I got to put a reminder or I will space this. I've had to make things, structures to keep me in place because I want to make sure people know I'm committed to them. Because that's what a person who manages a relationship does. They keep their promises. There's give and take. And by the way, it's a relationship that starts to build trust. And if people are going to offer them for some of the most expensive possibilities in their life, let me tell you, if Philip is going to fix a legal problem that could be really bad for you, he's going to take something away that's a stress level and you want him to fix it. You need to know that I'm trusting this guy to fix this problem. Somebody gives you their home. You have to work really hard to make them look at it like an asset because they're thinking about the day they painted and the day they planted the tree in the backyard. And you have to make that new dream just as exciting. Am I right? Mm-hmm. I have to know you're committed to me because I'm trusting you with this relationship. Reverse mortgage? What am I saying, Don? I'm in your hands and you're going to set me up financially till I'm dead. Right? Let's call it what it is. It's a reverse mortgage, right? I'm trusting you. But here's the key, my darlings. Salesperson is a compound word. If you're just the nicest person in the world, you're going to have skinny children. Because you're not going to get enough food to eat, because you ain't going to get paid as much as you should get paid. I know there's a lot of people that are really nice and they think the relationship can do it. I just facilitate. I just offer my services. Who wants to go to the doctor and have the doctor say, well, it could be hemorrhoids or dengue fever? How do you feel about it? Dude, you're the doctor. Right? You want him to make a call. Listen, if I called and I said, help me with my problem. Listen, Chris, I got an issue with my roof. I want Chris to say, we're going to fix this. And by the way, this is an issue. And it's not a problem now, but it will be. And I think you should take that step because that extra $100 will save you thousands. That relationship of trust is because I've asked a professional to tell me what to do. When somebody hires your service as a real estate agent, they're asking you to tell them what to do in real estate. We've been very, very careful over time to say, well, what do you think? Which is translation for me to say to customers, hey, it's really cool that we're together, but can you do my job? I want to make sure that you're not just a person, you're asking for the business. It's about sales. Now this is tough. Because some people say, some people with sales, I think you really got to go for it. You got to commit if you're in sales. You got to ask for it. You can't be shy. You got to go for it. Think about it. They're making sure you get paid. Right? You're just after their treasure. Let's call it what it is. You got to go for it. I think, who's just after your treasure? Think about that. Well, like a pirate. Oh, I'm sorry, do you have a problem being designated as a pirate? You're just after their treasure, right?
IRS.
Think about it. Come on. Let's do this. You work all day, right? You're asking for the business. And you realize as you're doing that, you're just after their treasure. You work all day, you drink till you get drunk, fall down, wake up the next day for a listing appointment. Sounds like piracy to me. And I wondered if you were committed to that end. If you were prepared to do what it takes to let people know that, yeah, you're right. I'm actually in sales. I mean this. I'm committed. Because if you're going to be a pirate, be a good pirate. Make sure people know what you're about. Right? I don't want anybody to question what I do for a living. I'm a pirate. You know what I'm saying? This isn't a joke. I'm going to get paid. And I think it's time that we commit. I think if we're going to be in sales, we need to go all the way. Some people don't want to do it. Some people say I don't know if I can be a pushy salesperson. I don't know if I can be a pirate. I don't know if I can do it. And I say, well, listen, let's make a commitment. Let's really be in sales. Let's not just do it halfway. Let's do it the way it should be done. Because, listen, what did you get into this for? You're not an hourly employee, right? You're a pirate. You made a commitment. You said, I'm going to make sure that people know what I'm about. That's why. I'm a pirate. When you read my card, it doesn't say sales counselor. That's because you're going to make sure I get paid. You know what I'm saying? Because we're getting more, I'm going to ask you for treasure. I'm going to ask you to make a commitment. Don't you believe that we're all pirates, aye?
Aye.
Think about it. We're all pirates, aye? Aye. Hey, let's think about that. A pirate uses a patch to cover his eye. Do you know why he does that?
Because his eye is missing.
Oh, it's interesting. It wasn't because he had a hook, and then there was a seagull, and he was like, oh! No, that's a darn good joke, but that's not what happens. Do you know pirates actually covered one eye so that at dusk, that eye that had been covered all day, when they put the glass up to it, they had night vision. They could look forward. Because he was looking for where that treasure is. Yeah, listen, some of you got to admit, you got to be a pirate. Can you pull your ship up alongside another ship and then stop and say, all right, email them, tell them we've got cannons. No, right? You get on a rope, you swing over, hopefully with a good-looking chest. You know what I'm saying? Now, people have a problem. They're like, Jim, I'm sorry, this is nice where you're going, but I can't be a full-on pirate. And you know what? I think you're right. But you got to have a lot of pirate tendencies. You got to be able to do what it takes. And sometimes you have to go out and take action. You have to be about action. You have to be a sales person. That person part is great, but if there's no sales, you won't get paid. If it's all sales and there's no person, people won't trust you. You have to have both. So I want you to be okay with having a little bit of pirate in you, right? Now, we're going to practice. This will be easy, right? So I want to help you out. What is it that pirates always say? Arr! Arr! Checking my time. Arr! Now, what does R stand for? R. Recap. The little R stands for recap. So here's a good way as a pirate. When you're asking questions, here's a way to force yourself to listen. Because pirates would just rush in and slash people, and then they'd be pillaging. And by the way, I'm not condoning that as part of the Valley Real Estate Network. The speaker said we should pillage. He said it was okay. No. So if we're taking action in a sales environment, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to have to be pirates, but occasionally you're going to have to stop yourself and say, "Arr." Recap. Do you know how people know that you were listening to them? It's very interesting. By the way, psychologists do this, and they do it by design, and they do it on purpose, and it forces them to slow down. I know if I can think at 450 and only talk at 150, my brain can do other things. So I have to force myself to slow down. So when I ask a question, and I'll say, you know, "Hey, Brad, what's your favorite ice cream?"
Chocolate.
Chocolate. So what you're saying is you really don't like vanilla at all, and chocolate's the best?
Well, sort of.
Okay. I'm qualifying. Now here's what's interesting. Brad now knows I actually heard what he said about chocolate. Because I recapped, and I gave it back, and I didn't parrot it. By the way, I have to teach salespeople this. There used to be an old sales theory. This is old, 80s, when people were just kind of punks, and they would do whatever they could to sell you, and it was called the monkey on your back. Everybody heard about the monkey on your back return? It's like this. People would come into our models, right? And you'd have these people, and they weren't very good salespeople, and they were trying to handle objections. And you know this, right? You get a customer, you have a property, it's not perfect, and they have some sort of an objection. And so they walk in the back of it, and they say something like this, or maybe its rates, or whatever that issue is, your fees, and how long it's going to take to achieve the goal, Philip. What is that thing? And people walk in the back, and they say to a salesperson, "Hey, gosh, these rooms are kind of small." And the salesperson, thinking that they were supposed to handle the objection, would say, "Oh, you think these rooms are small? I think you guys are a little expensive." "Oh, you think we're a little expensive?" It was basically like, "I don't want to answer the question, I put it back on your back, monkey on your back." You know what's missing from the phrase? Stupid idiot. That's what you're saying, right? Because you're making them pay for asking a question. "Man, these rooms seem a little small. You think these rooms are small? You stupid idiot." See what's missing? You don't say it, but it's what you mean. It's like picking a fight. "These rooms are a little small." "Oh yeah? You want to go outside? I'm going to show you something small. You don't like your face up there." What? Ladies and gentlemen, if you're making a commitment to people, you've got to recap. "Hey, I think your rooms are too small." Wow, okay. What size secondary rooms were you expecting? Now we're going to have a conversation, and guess what? I asked a question, and now I got to listen again. 2-to-1. Everybody with me?
Yeah.
You could be a pirate, but you got to recap. Everybody with me? All right, good. So, I'm just gonna fix this, if that's okay. I like wearing these all day because they make me feel special. So, ladies and gentlemen, as a salesperson, let's review. Salesperson has to be both things. They have to be a person. They have to form a relationship. You have to make commitments to people, and you have to keep them. You have to do what you say in order to make that relationship of trust happen. But at a certain point, you must take action, and that customer has entrusted you to be an agent on their behalf to make sure that the termite is right, to make sure that the numbers are right at title, to make sure that they've taken their steps to be legally protected, whatever that business that you're in. You have to do both, and they can't live without each other. But I'd like us to admit to not be afraid to be salespeople, because I think that's where we err. I think we're really happy to be a person. That's fun. By the way, congratulations. You chose the person side. You showed up today. Hey, how you doing? What's going on? It's good. Hugs and handshakes. Right on. Right? Who's asking for the business? Who's going for it? I thought I would just throw some things out there, by the way, that I've noticed in the marketplace. These are just some free closing things that can help you identify what's happening in the market. Some real quick closing ideas. I just want to throw them out there. Here we go. I'm just going to throw them out and hope these can help you. Let's talk about rents. Rents are going up. Did anybody miss? Mr. Francisco, am I right? Stands up and says, yeah, 4-bedroom, 3-bath. $3,500 for rent. Did you catch that? Ladies and gentlemen, you got to say to your customer, hey, don't even look at the home purchase as an equity move. Simply consider that you can own for the same price you can rent for like properties with tax benefits. Let's not even talk about the market. Let's not talk about equity benefits. Hey, control your own destiny. Fix your payment now. Don't worry about rents going up. Because rents are going up. And if you stay a renter, you're going to lose. It's a race. It's a race against qualified mortgage. It's a race against rates increase. Hey, Debbie, she's telling us, oh, God bless the employment news sucking eggs. That's great for rates. It always stinks to January. You know why? Because 2 weeks after Christmas, my daughter's in retail, they lay off all the Christmas help. So the numbers suck. And in February, they're always good. And the numbers are going to move. It's a race. I want to make sure that you do this now. If you're talking to customers, they're like, no, I'm thinking about. You said, no, you can't think. Now we have to do. By the way, you're relying on me as a professional to make that happen. Ladies and gentlemen, the cost of waiting. Waiting to move is not free. There's a cost associated with buying and a cost associated with not buying. And you have to consider the cost on both sides. So I thought to make sure, because I think I've met a lot of you, it's wonderful being here, a lot of great people. You got the person part down. I want to help you on sales a little bit. So I want to refer you to the best sales book ever written. Just so I can help you in that regard, because this is good stuff. Okay, this isn't it, but it's a darn good book. You know how I feel about spam. Not a sales book, but This is not a sales book either. Walter the Farting Dog. But it is one of my favorites, and you should pick it up. Trust me. It's beautiful. No, ladies and gentlemen, the best book on sales ever written is right here. Green Eggs and Ham is the #1 book on sales. You know this, right? This is a sales book. If you've thought about it as something else, you're confused. Check this out. Oh, it's real clear, I think. He starts off. I am Sam. Salesperson introduces himself. Customer ambivalent. That's usually how it happens. Sam I am. In case you missed me the first time. How's it going? Right? Immediately the customer, that Sam I am, that Sam I am. I do not like that Sam I am. Oh my gosh, people don't like salespeople. What's up with that? At the beginning, we're fighting an uphill battle. Right? But he goes for it. He offers his product. Do you like green eggs and ham? Right? What do you like? Hi, can I help you? No, I'm just looking. Immediate reaction for people to say no. Offers his product. Do you like green eggs and ham? I do not like them, Sam I am. I do not like green eggs and ham. He's been told no twice. Keep track. It's going to happen a lot. Sam is a machine. If you're in this room, you got to pattern yourself after Sam because he's a closing maniac. He's been told no twice. He doesn't care. He's going to go to the alternative choice list, right? Would you like them here or there? Huh? If you don't say would you like an appointment, you say would you like an appointment Wednesday or Thursday, and one of those choices you win. Would you like them here or there? I wouldn't like them here or there. I don't like them anywhere. I don't like green eggs and ham. I don't like them, Sam I am. He's been told no 6 times, but he will not stop. Would you, could you in a house? Would you like them with a mouse? He's breaking it up. He's going for it. I wouldn't want him in a mouse, wouldn't want him with a house. Don't like them here or there. I don't like them anywhere. I don't like green eggs and ham. I don't like them, Sam I am. You'd think at a certain point, Sam would start to be like, maybe this isn't a customer. Oh no. Could you eat him in a box? Would you eat him with a fox? box? Now he's going for it. Customer's starting to get a little pissed off, if I could say it quietly. Not in a box, not in a box, not in a house, not with a mouse. I don't like them here or there. I don't like them anywhere. I don't like green eggs and ham. I don't like them, Sam, I am. Are you listening to me? No, he's Teflon, he's impervious. Could you, in a car? Eat them, here they are. I would not in a car. Would you like them? You may see. You might like them up a tree. Let's try a different neighborhood. Let's try another process. I'm not going to stop at just one no. You don't even know. I can help you. I would not in a tree, not in a car. You let me be. I wouldn't want them in a box, wouldn't want them in a fox, wouldn't want them with a mouse, wouldn't want them with a house, wouldn't want them here or there, wouldn't want them anywhere. I don't like green eggs and ham. I don't like them, Sam, I am. A train. Would you on a train? He's crazy. I wouldn't on a train. He's trying to say no in as many ways as he can think. Say in the dark, here in the dark. Could you in the dark? I would not in the dark. Could you in the rain? Oh, I would in the rain. Not in a train, not in a car, not in a tree. I don't like him, Sam, you see? Not in a house, not in a box, not in a mouse, not with a fox. I wouldn't need him here or there. I wouldn't need him anywhere. Well, some people aren't customers. I mean, there's a certain point where you just got to draw the line, what did Keith say 2 weeks ago? You got to fire that client. It's just not going to go. This is in the middle of the book where all of a sudden Sam, he just takes a step back, he just readjusts, and he says, wait. You do not like green eggs and ham? Is that what you're saying? I'm starting to get a feel. I do not like them, Sam, I am. A very clear no. But Sam, undeterred, this guy's amazing. I patterned my life after Sam. Because if you do this, ladies and gentlemen, if you pull out the stops and do this, you go for this close, would you with a goat? If you're going for the goat close, you're in the bag. Yes. With a goat. Would you on a boat? Oh my gosh. It's starting again. I couldn't win on a boat, wouldn't live with a goat. I wouldn't need him in the rain. I wouldn't need him in a train, not in the dark, not in a tree, not in a car. You let me be. I wouldn't want him in a box, wouldn't want him in a fox, wouldn't want him with a mouse, wouldn't want him in the house, wouldn't want him here or there. I don't want him anywhere. I don't like green eggs and ham. I do not like them, Sam. Whoa, okay. But Sam, so quietly powerful a closer, he decides to use the takeaway close. Even now he's closing, right? You know what happens? You do not like them, so you say. Try them, and you may, I say. Try them, and you may. Sam, if you will let me be, I will try them. You will see he's been bludgeoned into closing for 55 pages. Now, here's what's amazing. You know the story, right? He tries green eggs and ham. He loves them. No, he'd eat them in a house. He'd eat them with a mouse. He'd eat them with a goat. He doesn't care. They're amazing. What's the epilogue to this story? Ladies and gentlemen, after being closed, aggressively asked for the business. For the entire book on page 62, the last page, the customer says, I do so like green eggs and ham. Thank you. Thank you, Sam, I am. He thanks him. I'm telling you, this is the best book on sales ever written. At DR, thank you so much. Yes. At DR Horton, we adopted this as our sales manual. It sits next to our computer in the office. Customers come in and they're like, oh man, green eggs and ham. We're like, that's our sales manual. They're like, what? We're like, read to the end, see what happens. Now, I want to offer this to you. I bought this book at Barnes & Noble. It was $9 plus tax. It was $10. Is there anybody that's ready to invest $10 in themselves as a reminder of what we did today? Somebody ready to pay $10 for this book right now? Oh, first cash out. Who has the? Let me see your money. Where's the dollars? Where is it? Where is it? Don McGlinchey over here, ladies and gentlemen. He's got $10. Guess what? Whoa, wait a minute. Keep your book. Keep your book, because people that make a commitment, people that invest in themselves get a reward. If you invest in yourself, if you take action, you're going to get a reward. So I'm just going to write this in here. Hugs and kisses. Jim. Now, this is your book. I want it as a reminder, but I'd like to offer you some sales coaching from not only me, but Mr. Brad Warren. Now, I'd like to do that at Black Bear Diner, which is next door. So we would like to schedule a date for you. My training session you've just earned by choosing to act on what could make you better is free. Brad will be there to offer you services, and if you want to continue your training, you might avail yourself of what Brad has to offer. Ladies and gentlemen, it was simply $10 to say, what if you put it out there, if you invest, if you do what you need to do to get action, you can get rewards. Let's hear it for Don. Let's hear it for Don. So ladies and gentlemen, next time you think about being a salesperson, remember it's two pieces. It's sales and person. I love being with you. Thank you so much, Valerie.